Welcome everybody here once again to the Blood Type Online YouTube channel. I'm Ed, and we have another DVD review for you here today. And this one is actually something that's kind of nostalgic for me, I guess. Growing up and stuff like that, it was a movie that was kind of, I guess, a playground legend, you could say. It's a movie a lot of people talked about, and it was kind of like a taboo thing, I guess, to watch. But, you know, the effect that it had on me then is quite different than the effect it has on me now, and it's kind of why I wanted to do this video. The movie, first off, is Faces of Death. If you've never seen Faces of Death, basically what it is it's a movie that's presented where it's a study of death, if you will, where they take a look at a few scenarios in which people are killed in some pretty strange ways, I guess you could say. And you know, it's supposed to be an examination of death, and basically what it ends up being is a really campy movie about it. There's a lot of stuff in the movie that is presented as real, but it is not. But that was part of the legend of the movie and of the Faces of Death series. It's something that I remember a lot of people growing up. It was kind of like a rites of passage, if you will, you know, with renting it and watching it and stuff like that. And I remember actually watching them over friends' houses and stuff when I was a kid, and it's kind of a weird introduction to death, I guess, you know, when you're probably about 10 or 11 years old, when I probably first saw it for the first time. But it's cool to watch it years later again, especially with the recent release of this DVD from Gorgon Video. You can check them out at www.gorgon.video.com. It's a really good DVD, actually, and for the first time ever, it's actually, first off, it's the 30th anniversary edition, but for the first time they actually have a interesting featurette with the editor, as well as feature-length commentary with the director, and a pretty interesting featurette with Alan A. Apone and Douglas J. White, who did a lot of the special effects for the movie. And that's probably the best part of this, because I know a lot of people that really aren't into these types of movies, and they think that they're a little bit too, you know, violent, or they hit home a little bit too much with people. This one is not like, you know, like the Traces of Death films, which actually do portray real death, or even some other Mondo films, even though there is some real stuff in Faces of Death. There's actually some pretty hard to watch sequences if you're an animal lover in this one, because there's a part where, like, these seals are getting clubbed and skinned to death. It's pretty brutal. But overall, Faces of Death is quite a unique film, because it's the first time for a lot of people, and they didn't realize it, but they were watching a Mondo film. And basically, Mondo films are movies that are presented in documentary form, but they're rather untruthful in some sort of a way. At least most of the Mondo films are like this. These are movies like Mondo Cane, the Mondo Cane series. There's plenty of them out there. Even the Traces of Death series is basically the same thing. But the Faces of Death series, to me, has always been a little bit more campy, and you know, it's not as serious as it looks. And I could see why horror fans have gotten a kick out of this film and the series for years. But this one in particular, I think, is the best one, obviously. But it's pretty cool, you know, that, I mean, the doctor's name in this is Dr. Francis B. Gross. I mean, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. Obviously, watching something like this as a kid, you didn't pick that up, but, you know, it's certainly something that, you know, most people, myself included, have picked up on since watching it, you know, being older. But another thing, too, this DVD has a really good transfer on it. It looks really good, and you know, anybody out there, it's been out for a while on DVD, but you know, if you haven't picked it up, I mean, this is a movie that you should have in your collection if you're a horror fan, just for, if not for shits and giggles. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it's a lot of fun. It's a strange, fun kind of a horror movie, and due to the fact that it doesn't really follow your typical narrative, and it's like I there's not too much stuff like it out there that's ever been made, in my opinion. So, you know, except for the series itself. But you know, it's a movie that is of legendary status amongst horror fans. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up here. And also, you know, check out the new DVD. You can't beat this. I believe there's also a Blu-ray of this available too, which I think is hilarious. But anyways, it's highly recommended from me. Faces of Death, Gorgon Video, GorgonVideo.com. Check it out, and obviously check out our friends on here as well, on our YouTube channel. Check out Slasher Club and Gut Munchers and J-Dog's videos. He's Flyerman27 and Mad Puppet Death, and there's tons of cool people on there. Just check out our friends list and the people that we subscribe to, and I'm telling you, there's some really cool stuff on there. So thanks everybody for all the support and everything, and thanks for watching the videos, and I appreciate it. And go watch Faces of Death or Mondo movies, or just go watch some movies.